Yo guys, what is good? It is your boy Tundra back with another banger. So we're doing a guide video in today's video. One of my loyal subscribers said to me that could you release a sensitivity video? I said yeah, for sure man. So this is why we're doing it today. And I feel like I did do one in soft launch, but I feel like all the sensitivities are completely changed. They all feel way different and way different to any other game. So I figured I'd just give you a quick rundown on what things do, my sensitivity, and if you could use my sensitivity or just make slight adjustments, that'd be great. So I hope you do enjoy. Please make sure you leave a like and sub. Make sure you turn on post notifications and drop a beautiful comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. So first off, we're going to start on the basic tab. Now this is the first thing you come to when you go on your sensitivity settings. The overall sensitivity scale. This is for when you've already got your sensitivity set up, and then if you adjust it higher, it'll make everything much quicker, or if you go lower, it'll make everything much lower. So I keep mine on 100. I think that's a good sweet spot in between. So my sensitivity overall is not too quick, but also not too slow. I just found that a nice little sweet spot. The vertical sensitivity scale, I just kept that on 100 because I want it to be the same as my horizontal, because I do want to be consistent as possible. I'd highly recommend doing this. It's a really really useful way to get your sensitivity down. If they all feel around the same, like if you can look up way quicker than you can look across, you're probably not going to be as accurate or as consistent with your shots. So I'd highly recommend keeping these two in the same on the same number. Sensitivity acceleration mode, I use fixed speed. I think fixed speed is way more consistent than speed accel. The difference between the two is fixed speed is actually a fixed speed, so it doesn't matter how fast you swipe your thumb, it's always going to be the same speed that you move your thumb. And speed acceleration, this basically means that however quick you move your thumb, that's how far your character's going to turn. So if I swipe really slow, it's only going to turn a tiny bit, and if I swipe really fast, it's actually going to do a 180 or turn really quick. So I keep mine on fixed speed. I think it's way more consistent. I normally do run speed accel, but it feels kind of weird in this game because you can't actually change the speed acceleration sensitivity as it is. So I just run fixed speed. I've been super consistent with it lately. I just need a bit more getting used to, and I think we'll have it down. So moving on to the aim and fire tab. The first one is FPP without ADS. So FPP means first person perspective without aiming down sight. So I just kept mine on 100. I think 100 for aiming is actually really good. It's a really nice sweet spot for me because I got a smooth screen and I also use thumb sleeves. I tend to keep my sensor a little bit lower than usual because I can swipe across super fast. So, and I do want to be consistent as possible at the end of the day. So I keep my aiming on 100, but when I'm shooting it drops down to 75, so I can be even more accurate with that. So I think that's a really good sweet spot. I don't play TPP, so I haven't done my TPP without ADS settings. So my iron sight 1x optic ADS, this is, I keep this on 30. All my sensors for my aim down sights are super low because I do want to be as accurate as possible, especially when you're playing scrims or like high rank gameplay. You're going to be shooting cross map, you're not going to just be aping everything. So I do want to be as accurate as possible, so I got it down to 30. I think this is a nice spot for me. Sometimes it can be a little slow, but it's worth it for them long range or medium range fights. And also with close quarter combat, hip fire in Apex is also really good, so you best take advantage of that too. So I normally keep it on a low sense. As you can see, my 2x optic drops down 10% because it's a higher optic and a higher magnification. If you keep it on the same sensitivity, you'll feel like it's moving quicker when it's not. You're just seeing everything much wider, so it's going to look like it's moving quicker. So I dropped mine down to 20. I think that's a nice spot for it. I'm going to keep it at that. So now my 3x optic drops down 5%. I don't think there's that much difference between a 2x and a 3x. So I only dropped it, well, 4%. It feels really good at the minute. I'm going to keep it at that. I think it's a nice sweet spot between too low and too high. That's what I go for in my senses. If I can snap onto a target that's like 45 degrees to the right of the other target I was shooting, I feel like it's pretty good. So yeah, so this is a really good sense. I also dropped my 4x optic to 13%. As you notice, all these optics slowly go down in sensitivity. So that's because the more the optic magnification levels increase, the more that it's going to feel like it's moving quicker. When it's actually not moving quicker, it's because like when you look through the scope, the whole world is like zoomed in. So like if you're zoomed in on a tiny rock and you move a little bit to the right, you're not going to see the rock, if you know what I mean. So this is a good thing to keep in mind. Never keep all your different optics in the same in the same sensitivity, like the same number, because obviously they'll feel the higher magnification zoom optics will feel a lot quicker than the lower one. Right, my 6x optics, these are for the snipers. My 6x one is on 10%. Now you might think that's really low, but again, I got a super smooth screen and I use thumb sleeves on top of that. So it feels really quick. If I was just to use thumbs, it'd probably be on like 20% with no thumb sleeves. So yeah, because I couldn't drag my finger across the screen as fast as I would be able to with thumb sleeves. So just keep that in mind. If you feel like my sense is like super low compared to yours, you might not have like a silky smooth screen, or you might not have thumb sleeves. So my 8x optic actually dropped down to 9%. It only dropped down 1%. I feel like I might lower this in the future because it is still a bit quick for me, and I do want to be as accurate as possible. But I feel like it's a good starting point, if you know what I mean. It slaps. With the snipers as well, it's like a one hit. And with me, I had to make like micro flicks, so having that extra little bit of speed for me really does help. And my 10x optic is obviously the same as my 9x. My 8x even, I don't feel like there's that much difference between them, and I never actually get a 10x optic anyway. So yeah, I just keep that the same. So the free camera focus, I actually got mine off. To be honest with you, I don't know what the setting does. I've tried it loads of times. When we was in the firing range at the start, when the game first dropped, I tried turning it up, turning it down, and it just made my sense lower or higher, but I didn't see the actual benefits of using it. So I turned it off. My TPP one is obviously on because I don't play DPP, but if he was going to have this on, I put it on 149, 150, around that area. I think that's a good starting point, especially coming from a guy that uses thumb sleeves. Like if you don't, you probably want it super high. But I feel like that's a good starting point. So ordnance sensitivity, this is the sensitivity for arc stars, grenades and thermites. So say like when you got the nade in your hand and you're about to like chuck it through a door or something, this is the sensitivity that'll be taking place. So I highly recommend you try and get this sensitivity as close as to your hip fire sensitivity as you possibly can, because mine's on 100 right now, but my hip fire sensitivity is not. So my hip fire sensitivity is actually slower than my ordnance sensitivity. So when I go to throw it, if I throw to the left but I do like a little flick, it's actually going to go further than what it normally would because my sensitivity is higher. I haven't actually messed around with these settings too much, but I know it's for the arc stars, the thermites and the nades. So I might lower it in the future, I probably will. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is only for arc stars, thermites and grenades. Right, the legend throw ability sensitivity. So this is when you've got your caustic ult in your hand, your fade ult in your hand. This is stuff like that, even with your Gibby ult. So when you've actually got it in your hand and you're about to throw it, this is the sensitivity that you will be using. Right, so moving on to the HUD settings, I use control interface 2. The difference between these two is that on control interface 1, you have 2 slots to your guns. So you can click on your left gun or your right gun to like choose which one you want, or you just click on the one that you've got equipped and then you'll pull your fist out. Or control interface 2 is when both guns are in the same column, you click to switch between them, or you hold it down to then pull your fists out, so you can obviously run quicker. And there's another difference between them, and it's the heal slot. So on control interface 1, you click a little arrow and then this like little rectangle comes up with all your heals in. Or you can use control interface 2, which you hold down on a circle, heal wheel comes up just like Apex on PC does. So I use the heal wheel. I've always liked that stuff, and I find it super quick to do while you're in the middle of battle, because it's just one swipe instead of clicking it and then clicking it again. Right, so moving on to my HUD. This is my HUD. I play 5 finger. So if you see like the buttons, the slide and the jump button are in the middle of the screen, this is why, because if I could show you, my left finger goes on my aim up the top by here, and then my right finger's in the middle of my screen, sliding and jumping. Because I only shoot with my one finger on my right hand, I put basically all my other stuff that I don't use, such as my tactical, my ultimate, my grenades and my inspect button, I put all them on the right side because I'm not going to be doing that while shooting. So I can't pop a heal while shooting, I can't inspect my gun while shooting, I can't use my tactical while shooting. This is why they're all on the right side by my shooting button. Yeah, that's just a basic rundown of my HUD. I think it's a really good 5 finger HUD. If you are a 5 finger player and you play 5 finger on the left side, you should highly try it. I really would recommend it. Such a good HUD. I've been slapping since I switched, and I've never played Apex in 4 finger ever since. So I really would use it. It's really beneficial. If you are still a 4 finger player, I would urge you to try 5 finger. It's really uncomfortable at first, but you just gotta stick with it. Keep going and you'll get it soon. Right, that's going to be it for me on my sensitivity video. I hope you guys enjoy. If you'd like to see any other guide type videos or any other gameplay videos or challenges, please let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you turn on post notifications so you don't miss tomorrow's upload. Let's see y'all in the next one. Peace.